Welcome to the Heroic Aging Podcast. In today's episode, I attempt to answer the following question. Is it possible to find meaning in an increasingly dystopian world without resorting to magical thinking? Let's dive in.
The optimist proclaims that we live in the best of all possible worlds, and the pessimist fears this is true. James Branch Cabell.
Unfortunately, it is entirely rational to be pessimistic. If you're young, the environment is ruined. Your economic prospects are grim, and the world is fast becoming a dystopian hellscape. If you're middle-aged, inflation, geopolitics, and market uncertainty is undermining your hard-won economic security, and your children's future is bleak. And if you're old, well, you're basically staring into an open grave. Bon appetit.
So one goes on living, amusing oneself with hunting, with work, anything, so as not to think of death. Leo Tolstoy.
For many, myself included, the fundamental question of meaning and purpose remains unresolved. What is the point of life? We ask ourselves in the wee hours of the morning, awash with existential dread. The answer? Crickets. The central claim of nihilism is that if you stare into the abyss for long enough, you'll inevitably discover that life really has no meaning. Ergo, the crickets. Indeed, the power of nihilism likely explains why evolution has selected a raft of cognitive biases that keep people happy long enough to breed, despite the certainty of suffering, the inevitability of death, and the futility of existence.
Hope, in reality, is the worst of all evils, because it prolongs the torments of man. Friedrich Nietzsche.
In my own search for meaning, I've noticed that the proponents of optimism and positive thinking never seriously talk about nihilism. Why is this so? Could it be because they also rely on magical thinking to whitewash their existential dread? Which brings us neatly to the core question of the podcast. Is heroism really an effective antidote against nihilism and existential dread? I believe that the answer is yes, for the following reasons. First, the fundamental purpose of the hero's journey is to discover meaning, purpose, and significance. Second, heroism doesn't deny suffering, death, or futility. Instead, it embraces the reality of the human condition and challenges us to act anyway. Third, the hero's journey does not rely on magical thinking. This means that the path of heroism is open to the spiritual, the agnostic, and the atheist alike. Finally, heroism has been around for a long time. The preservation of heroism across both time and cultures is the clearest and most powerful signal that heroism really does work. If it didn't, then heroism would have died out millennia ago.
The hero's journey always begins with the call. One way or another, a guide must come to say, "Look, you're in sleepy land. Wake up. There's a whole world out there." Joseph Campbell.
So, why is heroism my preferred solution to the challenge of nihilism? Because unlike optimism and positive thinking, heroism offers a bullshit-free framework for finding meaning and purpose that stood the test of time. Now, to be clear, heroism is not an easy journey, and it's certainly not for everyone. Yet, if you do answer your hero's call, know that you're on the surest path to a life of meaning and purpose. Thanks for listening, and stay tuned for more episodes of Heroic Aging. This episode was written and created by Gus. The soundtrack, Ship, was composed by the musical genius Hara Noda and licensed through Epidemic Sound.